Hey guys, welcome to the version 2.0 of the AmongUsAutoMute demo and installation video. So just wanted to do a quick demo showing off a lot of the new functionality and a lot of the new features that we've included. We're really excited about this release. It's not fully ready to release for 2.0, but we wanted to push a pre-release out so people can mess with it and we stop getting questions about troubleshooting the old versions. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So assuming we're in a game, we've got our Discord, we've got the Discord portion running, and then we've also got our capture portion running. Assuming most of those things are running and we're good to go, what we're going to do is, in a voice channel, we're going to type new. So you can provide the lobby code if you want, SDAF is the code, and then region is EU, for example. And what you'll see is a status message pop up that kind of tracks the current status of the game. So it'll, put that lobby code in there, put the region, it's tracking any voice channel, and you can react to this message with your in-game color to link the two together. So this works for the dead detection as well as making sure that only players that are linked to people, Discord users that are linked to players in-game, those are the only ones that get the auto mute applied to them. So if you have a music bot sitting in your voice channel, it's not going to be, muted or unmuted. We'll work on, potentially reversing, like maybe you want it to be muted during the discussion phase, for example. We'll work on that functionality, but for now it's just users that are in your voice channel that you're tracking that will have stuff applied to them. So if we go ahead and react with yellow, we can see that it linked. It detected the name as well, so it linked the name up. If for some reason we maybe misclicked, you can just click on the correct emote and it'll link to the correct one. But yeah, so all your players in your game can do this, and then everyone will pop up in this list, and they'll all be added and good to go. Anyone that's not added won't be auto-muted, as you'd expect, for the music bots and such. Anyway, so yeah, right now we're tracking any voice channel, but if we type .aut, which is short for track, you could also type track, then you type the name of your voice channel name. This is just to, if there's people in other voice channels, you don't want it to interfere with any of their stuff. It shouldn't matter if they're not linked, but say, for example, someone was linked to the game but joined a different voice channel to talk to other dead players, for example, you don't want them to be muted over in that channel as well. So that's what that functionality is for. In the future we might do it so it just auto-attaches to the current voice channel, but yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, once we're ready to go, why don't we go ahead and start the game over here on the left. And yeah, we'll be good to go. So you see as the game starts, we automatically get server muted, which is what we'd expect, and then also our status message collapses to a much smaller message. It lets us know the game's running, and it lets us know all the players in the game in the current phase. And so one important thing is that it doesn't, leak information. If this player is to die, it doesn't instantly change, so you wouldn't be able to tell that someone instantly died. It only updates when you get to the discussion phase. Yeah, so let's check out, what some of this stuff looks like. So if, for example, we wanted to kill the yellow player, yeah, you can see it doesn't pop up, but then if, I should probably do it on the actual window, then if we were to call a vote, or report the body, we can see that it's changed to discussion phase. Oh, whoops, I totally forgot that we linked the player to red, but in any case, you can see that we actually did get unmuted, which is what we'd expect, because the player isn't dead. Yeah, and everything continues as we'd expect. But if the player actually did get killed, if I killed the right player, then you'd see a dead emoji pop up, and the person wouldn't be muted they would be muted still during the discussion. But that's why we track that voice channel. Don't have the message in this screen yet, but if we track the voice channel, then if you move somewhere else, you'd be able to talk to other players. Totally normally, it would unmute you as soon as you leave the channel, and then mute you as soon as you enter back into the channel. So we're really happy about that integration and how all that stuff works. Cool. I think that's pretty much it for demoing a lot of the main functionality. When we get back to the lobby, I guess let's kick Sam off. Poor Sam. Cool. If we kick Sam off, then we'll go back to the lobby once we find out this person ejected was not the imposter. Very sad. Right now it applies a quick mute. We're working on debugging that, but it's a very quick mute, and then it unmutes everyone as it detects that it gets back to the lobby stage. And then we can see in this list that all our statuses update. So it's a little bit stale right now. If we go to the red player, whichever one that is, and then we go back, it'll link up. Cool. So yeah, I think that's it for the basic functionality. If you wanted to start a new game, you're more than welcome to do that. You can just type .au new, or N for short, and it'll just reset everything. So you could, if you got the mappings messed up, for example, or maybe you have the wrong player, you'd be able to reset that way. That's a good way to do it. Cool. So that's pretty much it for the demo. So let's just jump into the installation portion, so you can get this set up and running locally. Alright guys, welcome to the installation portion. So yeah, I'm going to leave links to all these pages in the description, so if I pull up a page magically out of nowhere, just assume that it's in the description. Cool. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the Among Us Discord. This is the old repo that we've been using. Now it just houses the Discord portion. The application is split into two separate pieces, the Discord piece as well as the capture piece, kind of similar to the old Python implementation. The reason being is eventually we want to be able to host the Discord portion itself in some server somewhere, so you can one-click invite it to your particular Discord server. But for now we're still testing things out with the two pieces separate but running both on your computer. Cool. So first things we're going to do, we're going to scroll down to the installation section, and we're going to make sure that we follow the pre-installation steps. So if you go ahead and click here, it pulls up installation steps on how to make your bot. So this is the steps that would be completely eliminated if we had the one-click install in the future, but we're still teasing that out and making sure that wouldn't break everything. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the developer applications portal. We're going to make a new application. You can call it whatever you want. I'll just call it ZXZ, and we're going to create. Cool. And then, just following these instructions on the left, we're going to go to add bot. Yes, do it. In the old steps, you needed to, enable the server members intent. You don't need to enable that now, so we're actually pretty much good for here. The one thing we are going to do is we're going to click to reveal token or copy, either one, but we're going to copy that, and then we can just pull up some random text document. Actually, let's make a new one. As long as you just paste it somewhere, just paste it anywhere, it doesn't really matter. So you can type notepad, just paste that in there. That's going to be your bot token, so that's really important. So just put that somewhere for now. And then the next step we're going to do is we're going to go to the OAuth tab. What we're going to do is we're going to click bot, and then for now, for the pre-release for these instructions, what we're going to do is we're going to enable administrator permissions. The reason being is we're changing these permissions all the time. For example, just the other day we added those emojis that you saw in the demo, so the bot needs to be able to manage the emojis to add those when it joins a server. So we're changing these permissions. So eventually we'll have these stripped down to a bare set of permissions that's necessary. But for now, as things are changing and we're debugging and making sure that everyone has the right environment to get everything set up, just go ahead and enable administrator. Cool. So what we're going to do is once we do that, we're going to copy this URL in this field right here, and then we're going to paste that into another tab. And then let's see. So I'm probably going to have to do. This is because I have two-factor authentication. We're going to go ahead and scan with QR code. Cool. And then we are going to add the bot to whatever server we want to add it to. So for this case, we're just going to do my personal server, authorize. I'm not a robot, probably, although I'm enabling a robot. Cool. So once we have that done, we can close that page, and then we're done. So up to this point, we're done with step 5. So now in the last step, what we're going to do is, there's a couple different ways to go about doing this. The way that I personally prefer to do it is I like to pull up my Discord client, and then in your settings, I apologize, I really can't remember where it is, but somewhere in these settings, there's a way to enable developer mode. If you enable developer mode, you can it enables this functionality where you can right-click on servers and you'll be able to copy the ID of that server directly. So if you enable that, you can do it that way. There's also steps for doing it in your web browser. You're more than happy to do that. You're more than welcome to do that. But for my cases, we're going to right-click on the server that we want to add the bot to, and then we're going to copy the ID. And then we can go back to that dummy text file that we were using and go ahead and paste that there. Cool. So that's good to go. Once you've got that, we are officially done with the pre-installation for the bot. So we've got all the information that we need to continue with the rest of the instructions. So if we continue down the steps, easiest installation, we're going to go ahead and download the latest executable and the TXT that comes with it. I have the tab open over here, but in our case we're using the 2.0 pre-release for Among Us Discord. So yeah, we're just going to follow the instructions and download the exe and the .txt. We're going to keep both files, and then actually if we pull up our downloads folder, I already made a pre-made folder. We can just move everything in here. We want to keep things organized. And if you encounter problems, you shouldn't encounter problems with permissions related to where it is, but you could always move this entire folder to your desktop or to somewhere else entirely and run it from there. It's all completely together. Cool. And so in our case, I already had one downloaded, so I'm going to rename it, but in your case, it should just automatically be called Among Us Discord. Cool. So then if we go back to the instructions, the next step should be to open this final.txt. You should be able to open it in any file because it's a TXT file. We were having problems with the env files before, but everything should be sorted out now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that random thing we had, and we're going to grab the first thing. We're going to grab the bot token, and we're just going to paste it right there. I don't think you need a space, but can't hurt to add it. And we're just going to add that, and once you've done that, all good on that side, so we're done with that final .text. We're going to still keep this field around for later. So next step, we're going to go to the capture repo. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where we've split the capture in the Discord into 2 different portions. We have a capture repo now, and I'll also link this in the description. But you're going to want to download the latest AmongUsCapture.zip. So we're going to open that in our downloads, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to extract. So you can open it up, it'll detect as a zip file in Windows, and you're just going to extract all the contents. So now when you go back to your downloads, you should have the zip file, which you can delete now, and you should have this other thing, which is all your capture stuff. I don't know why I was going to cut and copy. Probably not grab that image. And so we can grab that into our folder that has all the other stuff. So now the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to go into that capture piece that we just downloaded, and in the guildid.txt, this one doesn't have an equal sign or anything, but what we're going to do is we're just going to cut and paste that guild ID that we collected earlier, and that's it. That's all you need to put in there. So that's good to go. So we can close those down. And now we're pretty much done with all the pre-installation. So assuming you followed all the steps up until now correctly, then we should be good to go. So what we're going to do is you're going to want to make sure that you start up your Discord portion first. It's very important. Make sure that Discord is running first before you start the capture. We'll enable being able to run them kind of independently of each other in the future, but for now that's just easiest for debugging. So hopefully you should see all this stuff pop up, just information about your information. If you messed up something and this just closes immediately, you probably want to check your final.txt and make sure that you set this. The program probably won't start unless you don't set this, or if it's copy pasted incorrectly. So make sure that that's there. So assuming that's running, we now have our Discord portion running. We can just move that to the side. And then we're going to go to the capture portion. So for the capture, this is also important. For a pre-release, we want to make sure that our game is currently running. I think it will work okay if you're at the menu, but I recommend just starting the capture once you're already in a lobby. It's fine if players join as we go on, but yeah, just make sure that you're already in a lobby, preferably. So then what we're going to do is we're going to start up the capture. Allow it permissions. We might sign those in the future, but it costs money, so who knows? Don't keep your, don't wait on that. Cool. So now we have our Discord portion and we have our capture portion. And assuming that they're linked together correctly, we should see some logs pop up as soon as we start the capture, because it detects some players in the game and then sends that data to the Discord server. Cool. So assuming that you did all that stuff correctly, we are officially done. So if you go into your Discord server that you added it to, you should see the bot online. If you type commands into a text channel that you're sure it has permissions for, that's very important. So this is a particular chat with very open permissions, and we also gave the bot admin permissions, so it probably shouldn't matter for the pre-release, but you just want to make sure that it has access. But yeah, if we go ahead and type .au new, then we're good to go. It will display a warning label if for some reason the capture portion couldn't be linked to the Discord portion, or the Discord portion isn't detecting the two. But yeah, and then if we react with an emote, then it links the player, and we are all good to go. So everything you saw in the demo should be rolling, and you should be good to go. But feel free to reach out on our Discord if you run into any problems. Please, follow all these steps first and make sure that you're very meticulous about it, and then ask for help. But it is a pre-release, so we understand that things can break and things can be weird. So awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have fun. Yeah, good luck.